Holy smokers, guys, the number of websites out there with spellings related to coronavirus that are being registered out there right now is insane. Check out this chart here. So as you can see, on February 17th of 2020, there was about 500 to 600 sites that were registered with the coronavirus name in it. So like coronavirus.com or coronavirus2020.com, something related to coronavirus. And then you jump just a few weeks later to March 9th of 2020, and that spikes 10 times plus what the previous amount was being registered in February to over 6,000 websites being registered in one day related to coronavirus. Insane, right? So with this exponential amount of websites that are being created and bought, most of these probably aren't going to be legit, which means that there's going to be a ton of coronavirus scams out there. So with all these scams that are going to be out there, this week I'm going to be talking about all of the various coronavirus scams that can impact you guys in these crazy times out there so that you guys can protect yourselves from these coronavirus scams while you're trying to self-isolate and protect yourself from corona. No one wants to be out there losing money because of fraud or because you have a malware installed on your machine that can do whatever the F it wants to your device, like spying on your webcam, spying on your microphone, deleting all of your data off your device, holding your data for ransom to access it, stealing the data off your device. All of that terrible, terrible stuff. Nobody wants to deal with this right now. So I'm going to talk about these scams. So hopefully you guys don't fall for them. This week I'll be coming out with a video one day that talks about phone and texting scams. I'll be coming out with a video one day that talks about scams of various websites that you'll go to. And then today I'm going to be talking about coronavirus phishing scams, because that's one of the most common ways that you guys are going to fall for these scams. So that's what I'll be talking about today. And then I'll be releasing those other videos later this week. So one note that I want to point out to you guys is there's another way that you guys can be impacted by these coronavirus scams. And that's by the app stores on your phones. I did a video that talked about a fake coronavirus victim tracking app on the Android. I'll put a card up above for you guys to check that out. It's also going to be very useful information to you iPhone users as well, because that same type of thing can happen to you. You can get infected with an application from the iPhone App Store or the Android App Store that has a fake coronavirus app. It's more likely on Android because you can download applications off of the Android store, but it can happen on both the iPhone and Android, so check that out. All right, but before I get to talking about the serious business here, the phishing email scams, it's been a tough time the last couple of weeks, and you guys need a little bit of humor before we talk about that. So check out this picture here. I think you guys will find this pretty funny. Alright, so if you guys can relate to this, smash that like button. I know that there's a lot of people out there that will relate to this. Computers can be frustrating at times in setting passwords and things like that. Just make sure that if you actually take this action, I take no personal responsibility, but if you do it, make sure that you take a video of it and post the link down below, because we all want to see that, right? All right, so back to the serious business, some examples of phishing scams that you guys could fall for relating to coronavirus. All right, so the first one is an extortion email. Basically emails that are claiming to know all of your dirtiest secrets. All you have to do is pay the pirates a little fee and your problems will all go away, right? Well, this one is a little bit different than the previous extortion emails that we talked about in the past. So let's check out that section because it's pretty interesting. If I do not get the payment, I will inject every member of your family with coronavirus. Or I guess that says infect, my bad. No matter how smart you are, believe me, if I want to affect, that's a good spelling and grammar error right there, right? I can. I will also go ahead and reveal your secrets. I will completely ruin your life. Well, thank you, pirate, for trying to ruin our lives, because enough people's lives haven't already been ruined from this whole coronavirus situation, right? So the interesting thing about this situation is normally in these extortion cases, they're just threatening your data that they supposedly have. Well, in this situation, they're not only threatening all of this secret information that they have about you to be released, they're threatening to infect your family with coronavirus. That's on another level. That's insane, right? And too good to be true. Doesn't that sound too good to be true? Yeah, it does. What are the chances that the pirate is going to go around all over the world and infect random people that got this email? Not very likely, and if they do, they're probably going to be caught pretty fast. Let's face it, these type of emails like this are being sent out to millions upon millions of people to see who will bite on those emails. The pirates in these situations are not going to personally know you most of the time. How did they get that information? More than likely that information's out there to other people, and if you pay the price to them, who says they won't come back and try to get you to pay more so that information doesn't get out? If you see an email like this, just delete it. It's fake. And if you see any other type of email relating to coronavirus or anything that is taking a play on your emotions, is trying to freak you out, is trying to get you excited, you know it is a scam. Get rid of it. Anything playing on your emotions is going to be a scam, especially if it seems too good to be true. So that is my best advice for people that get coronavirus related emails that are trying to play on your emotions. Alright, so the next case of coronavirus emails that are going around out there are coronavirus emails that are trying to get you to open attachments, either talking about coronavirus itself, what you guys can do to help protect yourself from coronavirus. If you get an email like that, just delete it. Don't even look at it. Just go to the cdc.gov website and look up the information there. There's no reason to take a risk at opening an attachment just to learn more about the coronavirus. All right, but then there's other emails where you're getting coronavirus information about your industry, like this one, where you just have to open up the attachment to see how the coronavirus is impacting your industry. You'll get emails like this one with this Excel attachment that gives you health advisories for your organization. And then you get emails where you just have status updates for your organization attached. And the thing that you guys got to be careful about on these emails is if you're getting a phish email with this information, some of these emails, all you have to do is open the attachment and boom, your computer's hit with malware that can do whatever the F it wants to it. So you got to make sure that you're updating your operating system on your computer and your software, such as Microsoft Office, on your computer, so that you're not vulnerable to this. Basically, if you don't have certain updates, just merely opening the attachment can infect your computer. The second thing that can happen to you guys is if you're opening these attachments and they're fake, you'll see the enable content button up at the top. And if you click on that enable content button, 99% of the time, you're going to get malware installed on your machine that does whatever the F it wants to your machine. So if you see that enable content button, especially with these coronavirus emails, do not click that button. Close out of that attachment and delete that email, because you're more than likely going to get a malware on your machine that will do terrible things. So just delete that email and don't take that action. So I know that it's really, really hard right now because a lot of organizations are sending out information about the coronavirus on a pretty consistent basis. I know that my organization is doing this quite a bit, and honestly, in my organization, I'm getting these emails from people that I never interact with. So what do I do in these situations when I get emails like this that you guys could potentially do? I personally go out to my organization's website, and when I get one of these emails, and luckily they post that information on their website, so I can check that information out there, and I don't have to take that risk of opening up that attachment because it's already out there on the website, and I know the content on the website is more than likely, or pretty highly likely, that it's going to be legit unless somebody hacked into it. And I advise you guys to take that same strategy if your organization is doing that. go out to your company's website, go out to their SharePoint or wherever they post stuff, if they're doing that, and check it out there and just completely ignore that attachment so that you don't have to take that risk. Some other things that you guys can do, like we talked about in previous phishing emails on this one, make sure you're checking that sender. Do you know the sender? Is it coming from an organizational website, or does it look fake or have misspellings? Is the setup of the email look legit? Is it something that your organization would send out? Is there grammar and spelling errors? Things like that. And then if you're really not sure, ask your supervisor or contact IT and make sure that that email is legit. And remember, never ever click enable content unless you're 100% sure. And on these coronavirus emails, I would say never ever ever do it, because there's a more than likely chance that it's fake and you're going to get a virus when you click on that enable content button. All right, so the final case here talks about coronavirus links inside of emails. This specific case was at a university where students were getting an email from a fake address pretending to be the Board of Regents. As you can see here, basically it started out high with the student's name, kindly check the latest information about COVID-19, and then it had a link to a PDF, or what appeared to be a link to a PDF down below that they could click on and check that, right? So what happens when they clicked on that link? Well, they get redirected to an Outlook sign-in page.
What the heck? It's supposed to be to a PDF, right?
Well, that's what the link looked like. But no, it was to an Outlook sign-in page, and of course students wanted to see that information because it's that time of the year with the situation that's going on right now, where students are getting redirected to go from physical classes on campus to online classes, and so they're probably getting information about that transition into online and how that's going to work out. So of course students want to see that information. They go ahead and type in their username and password on the fake Outlook login page, and boom, they submit that information, and the pirate has that information and could do whatever the F they want with that email account, because in this specific situation, 2FA wasn't turned on, and so that pirate can then recover any accounts that they created with that email account. Bad stuff, right? All right, so if you guys came into a situation like this, how would you guys protect yourselves in this situation? I've talked about it before on previous phishing emails. Always hover over links before you click on them. I'm almost certain if you hover over that link, it's not going to go to that PDF page that it looks like when you're just looking at it. Because if it was, it would have opened up a PDF, not went to an Outlook page. When you're looking at that link, make sure that it's going to the place that it should be going. For the student's case, it should have been going to the school's website, right? A .edu site that the school was affiliated with, or like a SharePoint site or something like that on Microsoft. Also be careful. There's gonna, as we saw earlier on that chart, there's 6,000 plus websites being registered with coronavirus links a day. So if you see a link that says coronavirus2020.com or something related to that, that should be a red flag that it's probably a scam, because there's so many of those sites getting created. Another strategy that you can take in this situation to protect yourself is don't click on the link if you don't have to. Go to the site manually yourself, and then you pretty much take out the risk of that link being bad, right? If you have a portal that you can go to view that PDF without clicking on the link, hey, that's a great way to do that, and you don't have to take that risk. And then in the student's case this time, that Board of Regents email address that was sending it out, I highly doubt that they spoofed the Board of Regents email address. It probably came from somebody that just, they could have put borderregents@gmail.com, and if the students weren't paying attention, they wouldn't even notice, right? So make sure you're checking that sender link, and then also checking all the various things that we've talked about on this channel before, spelling and grammar, how the email is being presented to you, if it looks legit, things like that. One final thing that I want to say to you guys is these coronavirus scams are going to be highly prevalent. If you get any emails talking about coronavirus, I always talk about thinking before you take an action. I'm going to tell you guys to double think before you take an action on a coronavirus email, because they're so prevalent right now. So if you're taking 5 seconds to think about an email if you get a coronavirus email, take 10 seconds to think about it, okay? Just because your odds right now are super, super high that you're going to be impacted with the scam because of all of these coronavirus emails that are going around that are fake. So make sure that you're taking a little bit longer time to think about those coronavirus emails. Also, if you guys have any questions or comment, leave them down below. I'd love to see them. And make sure, if you haven't already, that you're smashing that like button, hitting the subscribe button, and smashing that notification bell to promote this content up in the YouTube algorithm so that more people can see this content. I thank you guys so much. I'll be putting some more videos out later this week talking about more scams on the phone, on texting, and on websites. So stay tuned and check those out later. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a fantastic day.